Hi there, and welcome to part 1 of our risk video designed to help your company go from risk adverse to risk smart and reap the human and financial benefits.
So how many of you took a risk at work today? No? Did you use the stairs? If so, you could have been one of around 12,000 people to die from stair falls every year. Quite a risk. In fact, it's almost impossible to name anything you've done today that is 100% completely risk-free. So let's bust this myth right here, right now. There's no such thing as risk-free. Whether you're simply crossing the road or developing and manufacturing complex pharmaceuticals, there will always be an element of risk, no matter what your company's policy on risk is.
And where would society be without risk? Can you imagine a risk-free NASA? Would anyone with risk aversion have ever conquered Everest or reached the poles? Let's break down the 4 really big failings of risk aversion. Firstly, it's foolish for us to think there is certainty when actually there is none, ever. Secondly, it kills creativity and critical thinking at a time when our industry needs it most. Number 3, it adds complexity and confusion when clear thinking and simplicity are required. And finally, it slows innovation when development of medicines is already painfully slow. Of course, in industries like pharma, where lives are at stake, risk aversion is understandable. But the big question is, has the industry now gone too far in its quest to be risk-free?
At NSF, we believe it has. At a time when we urgently need to develop new medicines, the industry needs a reboot on risk. It needs to challenge its relationship with risk. And let's get something straight. We're not saying the pharma industry needs to act like the days of the Wild West where anything goes. We're not saying ICH Q9 isn't fit for its purpose. In fact, applied fully, it makes a lot of sense. But at 12 years old, it was designed for a very different time, and certainly not today's world of political, economic and social uncertainty. So maybe now's the right time to challenge ICH Q9 and make it a more relevant standard for today and the challenges we face both now and the next 12 years. We urgently need to accept risk aversion isn't working for the pharma industry and develop a new way of looking at risk, something we at NSF called Risk Smart.
Okay, so let's take a very standard risk-adverse procedure from our industry and challenge it against this risk-smart thinking. And it's everyone's favorite, standard operating procedures. The purpose of an SOP is to ensure that whoever uses it, no matter what, you get a consistent result or output. SOPs exist to drive consistency. However, most do the complete opposite by causing confusion and encourage people to take shortcuts and break GMP rules. Why? Because they are overcomplicated and impossible to follow. Because they contain too much unnecessary detail. Because authors include just-in-case details and instructions rather than just the essentials. Because so many companies are risk-averse. Risk-smart companies are different. Their SOPs focus on the core purpose, and guess what? Their SOPs are thinner and complied with. So, how do they do this? They use the NSF 5-step simplification process. Step 1. Get the basics in place. Step 2. Get a small group of users together. No supervisors allowed. Step 3. Agree on the core purpose, just the really important essentials. Step 4. Create a process map. Remove anything that is non-essential. Don't be surprised if it's 60 to 70%, including completing a risk assessment. Focus on less is more. Step 5. Ban anyone from putting back the detail and complexity.
So what have we learnt today? Well, there's no such thing as risk-free, and that a certain level of risk is good, as long as it's smart. And we've learnt to simplify processes, such as SOPs, and make them more effective. And finally, we've learnt that there are only 5 simple steps to making your SOPs risk-smart. So how can your organisation become risk-smart? That's what we'll be covering in part 2 of this video. We'll hope you'll join us for that, but in the meantime, for more free materials on Risk Smart, be sure to sign up for our NSF Pharma Communications and visit our NSF Resource Library Just follow the links in the comments section. We'll be bringing you more videos to help you improve performance to get your products to market in the coming months. So stay tuned.
To find out more about NSF Risk Smart philosophy and how you can implement it, email us at pharmamail@nsf.org. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your colleagues, and thanks for watching.
Bye!
Bye.